Who can read the aim? 1, 2. And we'll go with strong hands. Justice, what are we doing today? Great. Write that. And then you can save the, it should be a fraction. Okay, simplify fractions. And then save the number 2 for the second aim. You don't need to write that now. Write that. You don't need my board to do that. I am loading it. Check your voices. Remember that if you're talking during notes, whole class discussion, that is 1. Any side comments can be dealt with by a hand. That's how we are efficient as a team and learn a lot. Are we back? JH24. 5th graders are trying to steal my screen. Sorry, you cannot. Is it? She's maybe has a sub. The subs sometimes get confused and they scroll down when they're trying to project stuff. They'll scroll down to like a J24 or J14 and click that instead. And so it like waits for 10 seconds and then they realize they can't actually like project their stuff to mine because they need my code. Okay, aim is that on the board. If these two processes seem really easy to you, that is a good thing. If they seem really hard to you, that is also a good thing because we need to get you proficient by next week when we do fractions at a 6th or 7th grade level. So today, the first part, we're just trying to simplify these. If you had a problem that was like 50 over 100 plus 2/3, this one could be easy to do if you know how to simplify it, but the goal is to get it down to something that looks like this. 50 hundredths is rewritten as 1/2. That's called simplified. And we want to always simplify fractions just to make our lives a lot easier. If it's a huge number, it can get really messy really quick. So we know that these fractions are equivalent is a fancy word that means the same. We know they're equivalent, and we want the simplest version possible. Ooh, do you guys have that weird thing? The little box? Yeah. So when we are dealing with fractions, whatever we do to the top of the fraction, we always have to do it to the bottom. So let's write 50 hundredths. And in my head, I'm thinking, what number can go into 50 that can also go into 100 evenly? In other words, what can I divide by both 50 and 100? Some of us have it mentally, others don't. This is where the birthday cake's going to come in handy. If you have to do it that way, you can do it. But give me your mental math, Chad. What do you think? Let's check. 50 goes into 50 once. 100 divided by 50 is 2. So that works. What I'm going to do with 50 is divide it, top and bottom, and I get 1/2. That is your simplified version. That's our goal today for the first parts. We want to reduce 15/20ths to the simplest form. Before I move on, Corbin, question or comment?
So how I would do it, I would just do like 50 is half of 100, so I would just put 1/2.
You can do that too. There's all sorts of kind of different mental things that everyone has skills at, and the goal is to do this mentally. I do not want you doing the GCF starting in like 2 weeks on it. You should not be writing the birthday cake towards the end of next week. We practiced the birthday cake yesterday, but that's a really inefficient way to get that simplified fraction. It's a tool for you, but we should hopefully move away from it. Let's do 15/20ths and simplify it. Anyone have that mentally down? Raise your hand. I don't want the answer. Hands down. Cool. It sounds like this is going to be a pretty quick lesson. You're going to think of a GCF of 15 and 20. Step 2. You're going to divide the numerator and the denominator by this number. And then you can repeat it. If you don't get the greatest common factor, but you just get a factor, you might need to repeat it again. I'm looking at 15 and 20, and this isn't the end of next week, so I'm not really sure how to do that in my head. I'm going to make a cake. I know 5 goes into 15 and 20, so I'm going to simplify it. That's as simple as it gets. The GCF is 5. What do I do top and bottom? I got 1 hand. What's my next step? I did step 1. What's step 2? Justice. You got it. Do I have to divide both top and bottom by 5? Yes. Whatever I do to the top, you need to do to the bottom. 15 divided by 5 is whole class? It's 3. If I say whole class, just shout it out. 20 divided by 5 is? It's 4. So this is as simple as it gets. Corbin, put it away. Unless you're taking notes about math, but you need to be turned. Is that a math notebook?
It's in here.
All right, put it. Okay, that's fine. It looked like you were kind of being distracting, turned around, but if it's for math, leave it out. If not, put it away. Let's reduce 8/12 to lowest terms. 8 over 12 looks like this. My board looks kind of weird. I'm thinking in my head, what is a GCF of 8 and 12? What can I evenly divide into 8 and 12? I'm not going to make a birthday cake, because I think I got this one. Liliana, what do you think? It's 4. Let's check it out. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. That works. On the bottom of this section, create another identical problem. What happens if I divided this by 2? Because 2 also goes into 8 and 12. Daniel, what do I get? Yeah, and is 4 6 the simplest option?
No.
No, Aiden, so what could I divide again to get simple? Yeah.
2 times 4 and then 2 times 2 is 4 and then
Let him talk it out. You're fine. So 2 times 2 is 4 and 2 times 3 is 6. That's what you're gonna say. So that works. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. You could work it backwards like Aiden did and think what times 2 is 4, what times 2 is 6, and that'd be 2/3. I think that's what you were doing, right? Okay. Both options are right, you guys. If you're on the homework and you end up with dividing it by 2 and you get something that's not simplified, just divide it by another number and get the simplified version. This is full credit, that's full credit. It's just a different way of getting there. Our goal is to try to find the GCF first, that's the biggest, like Chad did and Daniel. So try to get here, but if you need to do 2 steps, you're okay. Yeah, Max.
will we get in trouble if we do it mental on the homework?
I'm going to allow you to. I'm going to pause that question. Ask them when I pass out your homework. I'm going to see how partner work goes. Speaking of partner work, excellent segue. That was the wrong button. Partner work is just going to be 3 minutes long. I want you to work through these 4 or 5 problems. 4 problems on your own. Simplify each fraction. Check that your partner has it in the simplest form. If they just divided it by 2 and didn't get a simple form, you need to help them out. There are no answers, so you should check your partner after each one. Go.
Do we get bronze?
If you are done with partners, head to bronze. That's fine.
And is it with partners on bronze or no?
You can keep rolling with partners through bronze. Yeah. No, right here. Keep comparing it. This is actually a good part.
Number 2
You okay? What do you need? What do you need? Did you not want help with it? I kind of want to check in.
So 1 over 18 over 20 divided by 2 over 2.
Yeah. Start on bronze. 1
And
through
9
5.
over 10. GCF. Oh, and then number 2 is 3 9 divided by 3.
Any number divided by 4. This is right.
It's 1. Can we move on to silver?
Yep, bronze, silver, and gold will work. Yeah, just keep working. You got 3 minutes left for partner work. Yeah. Okay, so you tried 4, but 4 can't go into 18.
And I tried 6 too.
Okay, you gotta go down then. If you're trying higher numbers and they're not working, always start with 2. 2 is kind of like your default starting point, and then I go to 3, and then I go to 4.
Okay.
So try 2. Yeah. Divide stuff. You don't need the cake. I'm starting to think you guys are okay without the cake method for GCF. That's fine. Yeah, I just want you to show division, right? Yeah. I'm okay with you doing partner work with bronze. You have 2 minutes left. Yeah, just keep working. James. 2, 7, 4. Get ready to be done and say done with the pencil tap when I count down. You're correct. Pencils down and say done in 3, 2, 1. We're on number 1. I'm just gonna give you my favorite no for this one. If I started on 1 and I've tried 4 over 4, and that didn't work, what should I try next, Chad?
2 over 2.
Yeah, and your default when you're simplifying, unless you have it mentally down where you can look and find a GCF without birthday cakes, you can just do 2 over 2. 2 should always be your starting point. 9/10 is your answer. This is the work I'll accept on homework for full credit. You don't need to show the birthday cake unless that helps you and it's a useful strategy. If it's not a useful strategy, don't use it. Just show your work using division. Colton, press stop, please. Flip your page to aim number 2. Quick aim as we go out the door. Aim number 2 looks like this. Pass the answers. Pass over. Pass gold. I'll give you an abbreviation. Last stop before we head to fractions is to go from mixed numbers. Here's your abbreviation to improper fractions. You can write the whole thing if you want to or if you already have. If not, just put mixed numbers to improper fractions. Above a mixed number or below it, if wherever you have room, you're going to put 1 3/4. Above an improper fraction, you're going to put 7 over 4. What is the difference between those two numbers? Give me one thing that looks obvious for me. A what? Okay.
Oh.
That.
7 4 would be a whole number. It wouldn't be 7 4. It would convert into a 1.
Okay, so 7/4 doesn't have a whole number. You're getting onto something. Lauren, add to that.
So basically, you have 3 left over because 4/4 is 1 whole. So you have 3 over left out of 7. So it's going to be 1 and 3.
Both really good thoughts. This is the same number. This number is a mixed number because it has a whole number and a fraction. This number is improper because the giant number is on top, and I kind of call that's so improper because the 7 is sitting on the 4 and squishing it. That's just an improper 7. He is not kind. He's kind of mean. He is improper. Go on to example 1. So we're going to start with just a really basic image. Hand down unless it's about the aim and it's urgent. This basic image is just showing you a fraction. This is one whole, this is another whole, and this is a part of a whole. This is 1, another 1, and a 1/3. You guys have been doing picture stuff, Kate, turn around, in like 4th, 5th grade a lot. Your 6th and 7th grade year is starting to go away from this. You're not going to be dealing with pictures a lot because we're going more into the arithmetic, which is just straight numbers. So 1, 1, and 1/3. The mixed number is 2 1/3. You have 1 plus 1, which is 2, plus 1/3 is 1/3. Nod at me if you kind of are familiar with that process. Okay, looking at an image, it's a 5th grade standard. You guys should have done it last year. If I want to get the improper fraction, here's what I do. I multiply the 3 by the whole number, the denominator times the 2, and then I add 1. 3 times 2 plus 1. Has your teacher last year taught you the acronym MAD?
Yeah.
Okay, you have it stuck in your head. This process should be pretty fluent for us. It is 7 over 3 because 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. Here's your steps. You're going to multiply the denominator times the whole number, add the numerator, then the denominator stays the same. Multiply, add, denominator stays the same, M, A, D. Multiply, add, denominator. Cool. Skip example 2. Skip example 3. Go to example 4. Check your voice, please. Chad, that's unprofessional. If I have 4.5, I'm going to do what to the 2 and the 4? Mara, how do I change this to an improper fraction? Good. M is done. That gives you an 8. What do I do to the numerator? Cameron. Great. That's 9. And Colton, what do I do with the denominator?
It just brings it over to 2.
Good. 9 over 2 should be your answer. That is